kick on. So exciting start there. St. Paul's wasting no time in getting going there and making their intentions clear early on.
That's right, Corey. Not good signs, whereas for the Kelston boys with the early missed tackle. However, our big strapping second rower there for St. Paul's done the hard work but forgot to hold the ball in two hands. We feel the pain with you there, mates. That was Asalemo Usumanu. He plays his club footy for the Maris Saints, so he would have been feeling the pain this morning as well. Kelston Bulls with the footy now, centre park. Early stages of their set. Nice work there from their hooker, understanding when the markers aren't square that it's a good opportunity for him to go.
And a little bobble there at dummy half, it looked like Lewin, and we've actually got a penalty, so Kelston perhaps get away with one there, dodge a bullet.
I mean, it's nice to see the progressions of some of our schoolboys. We see with the obvious example of Roger Tui Vasashek, but also we must acknowledge Tui Lolo here, an old boy from Kelston boys that's made the big step as well. And I'm sure these boys here today are looking to also follow in his footsteps.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a few now who have, of course, gone through and are now stars in the NRL, even playing test footy for the Kiwis. So these boys know there is a set pathway, and no doubt we'll be seeing a few of these boys on the TV screens in the coming years. So Kelston now with the ball, and Justin Leosevi into dummy half. Shifts it wide there to Paulie Sefo. 10 metres out from the St. Paul's line now. Almost in line with the sticks. Leosevi shifts. Now, in fact, he'll go himself. Good marker defence, though, from St. Paul's and just hold him out. Into dummy half here. Utai Oka in at first receiver. They'll miss him out. Go out the back door. Masiatama. Now, Delaney Cheney Puata. The Te Atatu Roosters youngster flicks it way out the back there. Carlos Henry with the ball, but tackled well out wide. So good defence so far. Good scramble from St. Paul's College. Head back towards the middle now. Masiatama in. Dribbles a little kick through. It's missed initially. Carlos Henry's got it. And in the end goes out wide. So both teams showing they're not afraid to chance their arm early on there, and some enterprising footy to start with.
Yeah, even though it wasn't really the right result that they wanted, they're both grateful, I suppose, the Kelston team to be able to actually complete the set with early mistakes in these beginning stages of the game. I'm excited to see a lot of these footballers this afternoon. I used to coach the Tamaki College under 85 rugby league team, and I took a shine to, the importance of sharing our love for the game with these kids. And we must remember that they are still kids, even though they stand a couple of foot taller than us and they have a better goatee than you and I, Corey. So,
yes, that's right. There's some big human beings out there. And we'll see a couple of them in action here probably now as Kelston shift out, and it's the captain, Utai Oka, brother of Zion Oka, who, of course, we've seen in action for the Melbourne Storm under-20s this year. Played a few games for them in the halves and doing really well, and now they'll shift it short there, and it's the number 8, Xavier Tutaki, the Bay Roskell boy. Come back out now. Austin Masiatama shows it, goes, now space, wide, and we have our first try, and it is Fong Tali with a nice right side shift there from Kelston. A couple of little miss out plays there, and nicely finished in the end, so the defending champions on the board first.
That's right. It was pleasing to also see that the fact that Mosese Whaiamani wasn't greedy at all. He saw an opportunity. It wasn't the fact that he got white line fever, but he showed us sort of mature approach to be able to hand his friend off there in the centre three-quarter, Fong Tali, the year 13 from the Roosters out there in Te Atatu. And now the egg has been broken. First points on the board for the Kelston boys grammar. It's nice to see the supporting families and kids here this afternoon as well to acknowledge the efforts of both sides.
And while we wait for Austin Masiatama to take the kick, just sort of run you through Kelston's form through pool play, and they had a bit of a rough season really, 3 losses and 2 wins. We're probably lucky to get through after initially being knocked out by Otahuhu in the semi-final before Otahuhu were ruled to have had an ineligible player. So probably a little bit lucky to be here, Lewin, but that's not going to matter today, is it?
Tell me, who was the ineligible player for Otahuhu? I'm passionate. That's where I live, and that's where I played my footy for. I was just interested to see what the ruling there with the ineligible player.
Yeah, look, just there as Masiatama adds the extras for a 6-0 lead for Kelston. My understanding was the player hadn't played enough games through pool play and then appeared in a finals game, so probably a little bit unlucky for the school in that regard. But of course, those administration things are important, and we do want it to be fair for everyone. So Otahu, no doubt, probably watching on today, a little bit envious, but they'll get a chance at the Nationals in a few weeks to claim a bit of silverware.
Thank you, Corey, for those explanations. And well, we've got a game on our hands, 6-0 to the Kelston boys. Grammar, St. Paul's have the hard task of responding to that first initial try. We'll see if they show up here in this first set of defence and force a mistake.
And these two sides did meet earlier in the year in pool play, and it was a bit of a thriller actually. St. Paul's racing out to a 18-0 lead at the half before eventually winning 18-12, and it was a really good game, and on that occasion St. Paul's really were able to expose the Kelston right edge, so it'll be interesting to see if they revisit that. I know there's big Suwani Hufwango out there. Of course, he was involved with the Auckland Vulcans development under-16s this year, the co-captain of the side when they played New South Wales country, so he's a player of immense promise, and a championship winner last week actually with the Richmond under-16s. So a shout out to that team, plenty of talented boys in that one, and no doubt there'll be a few of them out here supporting Suwani today.
It's easy to do a bit of homework there, Corey. Thanks for those explanations of the development and the achievements some of our kids have made, some of our players have made. But I was reading an article in the Herald that the only loss that the St. Paul boys had was against Manurewa in round 1. Is that true?
Yeah, it was a bit of an upset, I think, and it seemed to really just be the fright they needed, really, as we see a nice little inside play back to Delaney Cheney Puata, but Henry's not able to handle. So, again, Kelston able to find a bit of room down that right edge, and we'll see them probably visit that plenty of times today. But, yeah, that's right, back to St. Paul's form. They've been flawless since that opening round loss to Manurewa High. Of course, it was a huge upset, really, with St. Paul's the perennial heavyweights of college rugby league, but they've been great since, and really haven't looked like losing, and got through their semi-final against Mount Albert without too much drama. I think it was 28-6 in the end, so they've had the week off last week, and we should be feeling pretty refreshed.
Yeah, mate, sorry about that. We can almost talk a glass eye to sleep. We need to concentrate on the footy that we have in front of us. No doubt plenty of these kids will have an eye, other coaches will have an eye on them in terms of the Warriors and the other poaching clubs in Australia. But we need to support the progressions and the development that are capable of these fine young men, and also encourage them to continue into tertiary education or to find work in trades, because that's one of the rules of the under-20 system. If you're not at school, if you're not studying, or if you're not working, there's no play for you.
Yeah, absolutely, and a great rule. I do think we've seen a lot of players, of course, in the past play some great footy for 5 years and then sort of have nothing to show for it at the end of it, so it's certainly good that the NRL is encouraging players to look after themselves after footy. And we see now St. Paul's now working it out, just gone over halfway, so Sean Tofa-Tumatea into dummy half, shifts it off now to Taniela Masaki, good carry forward now centre field. Now catches the markers there. I think we had 3 at markers, so smart play from Tofa-Tumatea. Courts now into dummy half. He'll go to the left. Little chip over the top. Henry looks like he's got it covered. Watching it go dead, and probably a little bit closer than he thought in the end there, but good calm play from the right winger there, and we'll jog it out for a restart on the 20.
Yeah, I've seen that boy Bo Courts play a few times. He's the son of Remus Gentles, right? But I'm not too sure if this level of footy they receive 7 tackles, unlike the NRL. Is that true if the ball goes dead?
No, I don't believe we've carried that rule across from the NRL. So obviously there's not that punishment for kicking dead. Maybe it's something to look at in the future. I think in the NRL it has been a positive rule change in terms of fine-tuning the kicking, and of course you can't just boot it dead if you want to take the Billy Slaters and Josh. Yeah, that's right. Take them out of the game. So I think it's certainly been a positive change for the college rugby, for the NRL. And as we mentioned there, now a kick goes. Looks like it might have been going to roll dead, but St. Paul's will return it up to the 10 now, and that one's through the number 5, Joseph Tangakana.
I think it was a great opportunity for these boys to see sort of the professionalism of the Fox Memorial players playing before them, and sort of setting the scene here this afternoon. I was in the dressers and I saw them focusing on what was at hand, and it's that goes to show the maturity and the coaching that's been with the values instilled in these kids from the coaches, who are no doubt possibly teachers at the school as well.
Yeah, that's right, and a quick shout out to the respective coaches today. Phil Gordon at Kelston, and just as we stop there with a nice breakout wide by Samuel Filiamatu. And now Kelston on the back foot, big time. Court starts out of dummy half, and he's got a bit of speed. Clever chip kick through, but there's no one there. Just misses it, so Court's there with a bit of individual brilliance, but probably the rest of the boys around him probably not quite knowing what was going on there. But back to the coaches, Lewin, and you do mention them, and you know, a lot of work from them throughout the year, and you know, as you mentioned, they've got day jobs as well. There's no professional coaches at this level, so to Phil Gordon from Kelston and Phil Sargent from St. Paul's College, thank you for your efforts this season, and you know, we hope to see you around for a number of years, because it's a great, you know, not just for players but also for coaching staff. It's a great development ground and a great place to test yourself, move into those Fox Memorial level and possibly higher.
Yeah, we can't forget our coaches and our managers and our nannies and our mums that come out and support us. No doubt the boys have spent all night cleaning their boots last night and watching a bit of footy. Those Bulldogs were quite strong for the Rabbitohs, so let's hope that's not the case this afternoon. With a great kick from Kelston boys, one of their halves there, working it out well, is the fullback for St. Paul's, Uasi Leota. Now is an opportunity for the backs to put their hand up and just to relieve some of their forwards, working out of their red zone. It's sometimes called the muscle set for these early stages when you're stuck in your half. Now the hope is that they get to the kick to finish off their returning set. I've been impressed with this second rower, number 12 for St. Paul's, Asalemo Usumanu.
He's made a couple of breaks already, hasn't he, Lewin? And a nice one there out wide, didn't quite have the toe to outrun Delaney Chaney-Puata, who is a noted speedster. And we've got a penalty there. Referee Antoinette Grudgen says offside, I believe. So St. Paul's will get another set here. Courts kick it back, and St. Paul's set up a set play here. So good opportunity here for St. Paul's. Kelston on their haunches a little bit, aren't they? And looking a little bit tired, so good chance to strike.
Here we see a reserve onto the field, Viliami Otuafi. Geez, a bit of a tongue twister, some of these names here this afternoon. However, St. Paul's have responded. I'm not a big fan of those little dummy half tries. I think they should only be worth 2 points, but that's my argument.
I got a feeling Phil Sargent from St. Paul's will argue with you there, Lewin. So a bit of enterprising play there from Sean Toffa-Timotea. And he didn't have to go far, did he? Just sort of fell over the try line there for St. Paul's first of the day. And Courts, he shouldn't have too much trouble with this one from just to the left of the uprights. There is a bit of a breeze here at Birkenhead War Memorial Park, but nothing too dramatic. So good use of the ball there from St. Paul's. We mentioned Kelston looking a little bit on their haunches there, and they made good use of it. Just the markers probably getting a little bit lazy, a little bit tired, and St. Paul's take full advantage.
I suppose we have to acknowledge once again the efforts from Asalemo Usumanu, who made that barnstorming break down the left-hand flank of the field. And like all hookers, cheeky little hookers, smart hookers know how to operate and can read the defenders and the markers to a T. Once again, showing the cheekiness of our hookers in our game. However, it's newspaper now. The points are all locked up from the kick from Beau Courts. 6-all this afternoon at Birkenhead War Memorial in the Auckland College Secondary Schools Grand Final.
And a reminder to our viewers, at this level we do play 25-minute halves, so if you think time's going a little bit fast, that will be why. So 25-minute halves here in the Grand Final, and we will give you some time updates throughout the match as well. But Kelston will get us back underway here with Austin Masiatama.
Yeah, please, if you wouldn't mind, Corey, just to sort of explain to us the situation with the substitutions. Even though it's a 25-minute half, coaches have to be wise with how they use their subs. We see in rugby league at other levels that hookers tend to have 20-minute stints, and forward props have 20-minute stints as well, as we see 2 new reserves come on to the park for the Kelston boys. Grammar, what's the story in the secondary level?
Yeah, so it's 8 interchanges, I believe, for this level, and like you mentioned, probably the big boys take up the majority of those, and we see, Kelston in particular has some really big front rowers who do have limited minutes in them, but are very effective while they're out there. And then you've also got players like the captain, the number 13 for Kelston, Yuta Ioka, who will probably play the full 50 minutes. He's a really professional kind of guy, and prides himself on his fitness. But definitely it is important how they use those interchanges, and as we see there, some nice footwork from the number 4, and that is Paulie Sefo, the year 13 out of Glenora. He's played for the New Zealand under-16s, and they get a penalty as well. So Kelston now with a chance to set up camp down in St. Paul's territory, and again St. Paul's now probably looking a little more wary, and looks like we've got a set play being set up and debating whether to go for the 2, and actually they will. So there you go, smart decision, Lewin. Would you have gone for the 2?
Maybe, maybe not. It's a hard one there. I understand that it's finals footy, and when you've got the win behind you and you've got an opportunity to, I won't say guarantee 2 points, because you never know with some of these goal kickers nowadays, but my father's big on, if there's an opportunity to take the 2, you take the 2. I'd rather see triple backdoor plays and sidesteps like Benji Marshall and Sean Johnson, but we can't have that all the time.
That's right. I mean, I guess if we do look at the NRL level, there are a couple of noted coaches, Ivan Cleary, Wayne Bennett, who are big advocates of taking the 2 when they are on offer, and Masitama makes no mistake from in front and takes an 8-6 lead for his school.
I suppose the argument there, Corey, is what tends to happen when you get in front by a couple of points, you start to protect the small lead that you have, and you go off from the natural flair that you're used to playing. So that's just sort of a mindset thing. Hopefully the players here understand that, hey, there's no changes to be made. It's just changes in the scoreboard. We still keep doing what we're doing. Well, some twinkle toes down the sideline. We've seen on both ends great kickoff starts, utilising the conditions here this afternoon. And we don't see that often in the NRL and other levels, kicks finding touch. But people must stay awake today.
Yeah, that's right, and I believe we saw one earlier in the Fox Memorial game. I think perhaps from the kickoff, actually. I think Maris let one go out, or knocked it on, trying to keep it in at least. So it is a day for those short restarts. And as you see, Masitama, big shift out to the left, but it's gone forward. Antoinette Grutchin says we'll pack down a scrum. And a quick shout out to Antoinette. Of course, she was our SAS College Rugby League Referee of the Year, and she's had a fantastic year on the local footy scene. And just a couple of weeks ago, she was over in Australia with Auckland Rugby League Referees Development Officer John McEwen, reffing the schools carnival over there, and I believe she earned herself a final for the under-15 girls. So she's had a fantastic year as an official, and is certainly one to watch for the future.
Yeah, it's awesome to see some of our mana wahine out supporting our great game. She doesn't miss a thing, this girl as well, and once again it is an example of how sharp her eye is. I forget the name of another female referee in the Fox Memorial. She runs the lines a few times, but it goes to show that there are opportunities for our lovely women to be involved with the game as well, and thank you for your support and input as well, ladies.
So St. Paul's now starting their set from about 30 out, and again Courts into dummy half. He's a scheming little number 7, Bo Courts. He's clever and likes to take advantage of those lazy markers. And another penalty, so good work there. Kelston just a little bit too long in the tackle.
Now let's see, Corey, if St. Paul's respond by a penalty kick to even up the points. No, the instructions from one of the Phils was to take the tap and have a dig.
That's right. Funny, the sort of change of mindset, isn't it? The two different mindsets between the teams. St. Paul's never thought about taking the 2 points there, really, and they were all out attack. So obviously, probably a little bit more confidence in their attack. And as we see now, shifts out wide. Damon Abbey brings Uasi Luota into the line. Damon Abbey, of course, brother of Bradley Abbey, who you'll see in action for the Junior Warriors this afternoon, taking on the Penrith Panthers. He's a player of immense promise. Plays in the halves, unlike his brother playing at the back, but similar bald, big, lanky boys. With some ball-playing skills, and both with a bit of toe as well.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that we had to let another one go. No doubt that always happens the case with our beloved Warriors, that the ones we let go, they do hurt us the most. So all the best for Brad Abley, and no doubt his brother will team up with him in a later date. However, another little mistake from the from the Kelston boys. They get another opportunity, St. Paul's, to have a full set 10 metres out from the try line. Good on them for not going for the 2 points, believing in themselves and trying to craft up an opportunity to get over the line once again.
This will be 3 back-to-back sets now that Kelston are going to have to try and defend, so it'll be interesting to see their response, see what their line speed's like, and also their attention to detail at marker. So as we see there, Taniela Masaki takes it out from the scrum. They'll shift to the left, and this is the number 14, Viliami Otiafu. He's close. Tofa Timotea into dummy half. Watch for the dart, and again, is he over? Looked like a little bobble of the ball there. Antoinette Grutchins looks to the side, and he's done it again. Lewin, almost a carbon copy of the last one.
Mate, it's another 2-point try if you ask me, but I can't take it away from the sharpness of this hooker here for the St. Paul's College boys. Mate, if I was the coach, I would be telling my trainers to run on straight away and be careful every single time that this hooker for St. Paul's is near the line, because he's going to go. We sometimes see hookers accidentally running into the guy who plays the ball, or actually ducking underneath or through the legs of his own player. I don't know if that was a similar case in what we just saw previously, but no doubt the fans of St. Paul's are happy, and the boys themselves. Every time they get over the line, their enthusiasm just lifts another gear. And I'm sure they're hungry for more. It's not going to be the end of it. From the St. Paul's number 9, Sean Tofa Timoteo. No problems here for Beau Courts.
And that'll take it out to St. Paul's 12, Kelston 8. So St. Paul's back in control of the game, but yeah, Phil Gordon, he'll be spitting chips at that, conceding basically a carbon copy try, and he'll be upset that his boys probably didn't learn their lesson from the last one, but look, hopefully they can switch on to that now, and but hey, take nothing away from the young St. Paul's hooker. Clever work from him, and he's obviously identified a weakness in the Kelston line and taken advantage twice now. So young Austin Masitame will get us back underway, and they're offside. Another coach killer. Oh, Phil Gordon.
She's not letting anything slide, our referee, this afternoon. But as you say, yes, those are no doubt coach killers. Should be sorting those basics right from the get-go. The importance of standing behind the kicker.
That's right, Lewin, and you'll think there is nothing that upsets a coach more than a simple error like that, and it's such a big one. A penalty on halfway, you know, you've basically gifted a team 50 metres and a free set of 6 at a time when you should be trying to respond positively. So Kelston will be gutted with that one, but let's see if they can hold them out. Tofa Timotea goes wide now to Damon Abbey. He's tackled well. St. Paul's perhaps appealing for a head-high tackle, I think, but nothing coming, so they'll head back infield now, and Courts gets his hands on the ball. Courts takes the line, so having a look there, just seeing what the St. Paul's, the Kelston marker's got. Tofa Timotea again, is he in for a hat-trick? He's very close, but Antoinette Grutchin says he's just short, so look at this boy, he's on fire today, having a stellar game, and very nearly gets himself a hat-trick within the opening 20 minutes.
Yeah, we see the strength of the spine once again, firstly from Beau Courts, his run and his quick play the ball. Given an opportunity for Sean Tofa Timotea once again to show his skills in being able to split the defence. But I suppose, Corey, that Kelston really need to take advantage of this wind that they have behind their backs. It's almost acts as an 18th man as we see one of the forwards bust up the middle, pushing the pass back in to one of his brothers on the halfway line.
And as you mentioned, the advantage of the win there, we see that the Hoot are about to go for half-time, so Kelston, probably their last rate of the game, they kick deep. Sam Filiamotu, he'll watch it go, no, he won't. It has just gone dead, so this will probably be the last play of the game here as we wind down. Now St. Paul's with a chance to perhaps strike late, but he's off the mark there, and that should do us.
Good start to the Auckland College Secondary Schools final. This half is close, obviously. 12-8 the scoreline. It's not over yet.
And there we go. So that's the end of the first half here in the SAS College Rugby League Grand Final. And we've got St. Paul's in front, 12 points to 8 over Kelston Boys High School. Pretty close game really early on, but the difference so far, the dummy half, Sean Tomatia, with a double already, and he's really been big. Not just near the try line, but also midfield, making some good yardage there. So you imagine the word from Phil Gordon really is just going to be about Kelston concentrating on the little 1%ers really. They've just got to concentrate on those little fundamentals of the game, and they're not far wrong. We've seen when they've had good use of the ball that they have been able to score points. So we'll be back in a few minutes for the second half. Do stay with us. Go and grab a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, and we'll see you back in a few minutes.